Hey there, YouTube. Matt Master here, and this is another Tech Talk. I know I just put one up, but let's go with more. Alright, so this Tech Talk is Mispolymerization. Sorry guys, a little cough. So, this card reads, you can only activate this card when a fusion monster is special summoned. Return all face-up fusion monsters on the field to their respective fusion decks. So, let's talk about this. What decks would this be useful against? Shaddolls, Ritual Beasts, Fluffles, Masked Heroes. So, since it reads whenever a fusion monster is special summoned, it doesn't have to mean they have to be fusion summoned. If you can, if your opponent mass change doesn't count as a fusion summon, but it is summoning a fusion monster, so that counts as a special summon. And this card will then, you can then activate this card, returning that one and whatever other masked heroes they have on the field to the respective decks. If your opponent does use something like Frightfurs fusion for Fluffles, and they fusion summon a monster, use this card, return that, and any other ones to the deck. Same thing with Ritual Beasts, and same thing with Shaddolls. Shaddolls being the heavy hitter. Now, if we look like other cards that people are running to counteract Shaddolls and Ritual Beasts and Heroes, well, mostly Shaddolls and Ritual Beasts, we see cards like Non-Fusion Area, which is what I run in my Yosenju deck. But Mispolymerization seems like a little bit of, seems just as good, if not a little bit better. Non-Fusion Area is good because it's a continuous trap card and stops your opponent from fusion summoning. Mispolymerization is a good card because if your opponent does, sorry guys, I don't know why I'm coughing so much. If your opponent does special summon a fusion monster, even if it's not their fusion summoning, it and all the other fusion monsters already on the field are returned to the deck. So maybe instead of choosing one or the other, a combo of both might be good. This card makes it so your opponent can't fusion summon any other more monsters, and this card makes it so any of your opponent's monsters that are fusion or special summoned, return to the deck. A good combination of both can shut down a Shaddolls player's main strategy really well. If you look at decks that lose to Shaddolls, like Necroz, both of these cards could be effective in the main deck, or well, side deck to tech in. Though they would probably go for non-fusion area more because they want to cut down. They need to stop your opponent's special summons before they can even get off of them. If they do get off, this card is also a good card to use against them. So I would say maybe teching in both of them no matter what you play, because if you do play Shaddolls, this card might help as well. If you don't have any fusion monsters on your side of the field, you can still use this card because it does not designate which side of the field it's on. So your opponent fusion summons a monster. Actually, when either of you fusion summon a monster, you can use this card effect, return all fusions to the deck. So if you are playing fusion deck and you're losing to another fusion deck, you can use this, return theirs back as well. And Shaddolls deck doesn't really have that much to counter traps. Well, it doesn't have that much in ways of countering cards. Yeah, you have a lot of monsters that go to the graveyard to pop, but I don't think off the top of my head there are any specific Shaddolls counters. Maybe Shikinaga, I think, counters traps and spells. I'm not sure. There's definitely one out there that does, I believe, or there's some type of tech card that they have that counters spells and traps, definitely. But again, this card will help out against Shaddolls. I don't advise running this over this. I do advise maybe running both, but that's up to you. It depends on how much you hate Shaddolls and if it's your worst matchup. If you are running Necroz, it doesn't really hurt you that much to side these. If you're running anything but, it depends on your build. So guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. This is Matt Master. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the video of what you think of Mispolymerization and other fusion. Are there any and your ideas of counter fusion cards? These are just my ideas, and these are the standards. Well, this is a standard. This is my idea. You know how it is. Matt Master here, signing off. Peace out, guys. Keep dueling.